Today we were looking at Unit 4, Lesson 8, and solving more percent increase and decrease problems with equations. So the first problem we had was match an equation to each of these situations and then solve the equation to find the solution. Be prepared to share your reasoning. Question 1 says the water level in a reservoir is now 52 meters. If this was a 23% increase, what was the initial depth? So we have initial and new or current or now. So my initial is X and my new is Y. The initial is 100%. It's a 23% increase. So 100 plus 23 gives me 123%. I can find my K value, Y divided by X. 123 divided by 100 is 1.23. So I have the equation 1.23x equals y. And I know that it is now 52 meters. And the now is y. I'm going to put 52 in for x. And then to solve that, we're going to divide both sides by 1.23. And we end up with approximately 42.3 meters for our original depth. So the equation that matched that was this one. Went with number 1. Question 2. The snow is now 52 inches deep. If this was a 77% decrease, what was the initial depth? Again, we have our initial and now. X is always our original amount. So Y is going to be my now. The original is 100%. The now is 100 minus 77, or 23%. So if we find our K value, we're going to do 23 divided by 100, or 0.23. Our equation then is 0.23x equals y. It's now 52 inches deep. That is my y value. Replacing y with 52, we end up with this first equation, and then we're going to solve that by dividing 52 by 0.23 to get 226.1 inches. So what we noticed was that in our equation, our K value, when it was an increase, if we did 100 plus the percent increase, and then divided that by 100, it would give us our K value. When it was a decrease, we did 100 minus the percent decrease and divided that by 100 to get our K value. And then we just write our equation, Kx equals y, and we put the known value in for the correct variable to solve. So for each of these, you were to write an equation to represent the situation, and then use your equation to answer the questions. In letter A, 1,950 people lived in Emporium, PA in 2020. The next year, this number had decreased by 1.3%. How many people lived in Emporium in 2021? So it's a decrease. So that means to find my K, I need to do 100 minus 1.3 and then divide by 100, and we end up with 98.7 over 100, or 0.987. I need to define my variables. So X is the 2020 population because that comes first. Y is my 2021 population. My equation is 0.987x equals Y. We were given this value, and it says in 2020. That means we're going to replace X with 1,950 and then multiply that by 0.987 to get 1924.65. But we're talking about people, so we would say 1,925 people. Letter B, compared to the last year, the population of Boomtown has increased by 25%. The population is now 6,600. What was the population last year? So we have an increase of 25%. 100 plus 25 is 125%. We also know that the population is now 6,600. Our equation, well, X is going to be last year population. Y will be this year's population. K, 125 divided by 100 is 1.25. 1.25x equals Y. The number I know is the now, which is the Y. I'm going to replace Y with 6,600. And then I need to divide both sides by 1.25 to solve the equation. And we end up with X is 5,280 people. Letter C, Michelle's water company had $4,300 in sales this week. They project next week the sales will be 105% of the sales this week. What are the projected sales for next week? So X is this week's sales. Y is going to be next week sales. Now it's not an increase. It's not a decrease. It's 105% of. So my K value is 105 divided by 100, or 1.05. which makes the equation 1.05x equals Y. What do we know? We know the sales this week are $4,300. That is X. So we replace X with 4,300, multiply by 1.05, and you end up with next week's sales projected to be $4,515. Tim is buying a car whose sticker price is $15,000. The dealer has offered a 10% discount on the car. He also has to pay a 6% increase on the price for taxes. How much will he pay for his car? So we have two parts here. The first part is the sticker price. That's the amount shown on the car. And then we have the price after the discount, which is a 10% discount, which makes K 100 minus 10 divided by 100, or 90 divided by 100, which is 0.90 as a decimal, making the equation 0.9x equals y. What do we know? We know the original amount. So I'm going to replace x with $15,000 and multiply by 9/10, and we end up with $13,500 for the discounted price. Now I have to do a whole new problem to figure out the tax, and that's an increase, which means we're going to do 100 plus 6, or 106% of the original. Now x is the discounted price and y is the final price. K 106 divided by 100 is 1 6/100. The equation 1 6/100 x equals y. What do we know? Well, we know the discounted price, which is now my x value. We are going to multiply 1 6/100 times 13,500, and we end up with $14,310. And that is the final price. Now you might have said, well, if I'm taking away 10% and then adding 6%, isn't that basically like we're paying 94%? Well, let's see. What percent of the original is that 14,000? So what percent of $15,000 is 14,310? Well, we would do 14,310 divided by 15,000, and that gives us 0.954, or 95.4%, which is not the 96% or 94% that you thought. It's actually higher. It's over 95%. So if we think about what we were doing here, at first, so we took our sticker price and we multiplied it by 9/10 to get the discounted price. And then we took that times 1.06 to get the final price. And if you do 9/10 times 1 6/100, you get 0.954. So when I'm doing a percent of a percent, I can multiply those two percents together and find the final percent. Let's use that idea to find Cindy bought a used car for $1,351.50. This was after a 15% discount on the sticker price and paying an increase of 6% for taxes. So how much was the sticker price? X is going to be the sticker price. Y is going to be the final price. Now let's think about the percents. after a 15% discount means she's paying 85% of the sticker price. And then an increase of 6% means she's paying 106% of the discount price. 85% is 85 hundredths times 1 600ths gives me 0.901, which means in the end she's paying 90.1% of the sticker price, which tells me my K value is 0.901. The equation would be 0.901x equals y. In this case, I don't know the sticker price. That's what I have to find. I know the end price, which is my y value. So I'm going to put $1,351.50 in for y. Divide both sides by 0.901, and we find that x is $1,500. So that was the sticker price, was $1,500.